Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this morning's installment of Contracting Chatter. How are we doing this glorious Monday morning? Yes, I am Luciana Turner. I am the host of Contracting Chatter. Oh, for those of you who are new to the platform, Contracting Chatter is, excuse me, that little bit of legislative and regulations um, dose of information for government contractors and businesses. For those who don't know, actually, this is a platform that I had previously that kind of died out that I've brought back. It used to be weekly, and now I've brought it back in a daily form. Excuse me. For those of you who know me, chatter is back. We're in week 2 of Contractors Chatter. And as you know, it used to be weekly on Wednesday evening. Now it's a daily platform. Now I do specials. Contracting Chatter does specials. We cover the State of Union address as a special. We cover the budget as a special. We cover anything that's earth shattering, moving, shaking as a special on the Chatter platform in conjunction with our podcast, Contractors Conversation. So let's get this party started this Monday morning. Now, a friend of mine who is a nonprofit specialist, Ty Boone, she did a post that I thought was appropriate for government contractors, which is this, the whole craze around AI and utilizing AI to churn out documents. Well, apparently there's a growing trend towards using AI to churn out grant proposals. And it made me think about, is this something people are thinking about doing in the government contracting space? I want to tell you, don't do that. AI has its place. I'm not anti technology. I'm anti laziness. First of all, there's problems with some of the timeliness of the data that's being delivered with this AI. I've seen it time and time again. There was actually a leaked memo from, I believe it was Google. I would have to pull it again, where some of the technicians were even saying AI should be delayed from its release because of the fact that the data it was generating was outdated. Be that as it may, artificial intelligence is supposed to be an enhancement and its help. I see it as, social media tool, okay, fine. It can help you generate emails, okay, fine. But a whole proposal? No. No. Especially if you're hiring a proposal writer. Now, think of it this way: if they're using AI to generate your proposal and they're using it for another client and if they're using it for several clients, then that means your proposal looks just like everybody else's, which was a valid point she brought up. So I caution you about how you employ technology in your proposal writing process, or how you employ technology business period in your business. It is not supposed to replace thinking. It is supposed to be a helpful tool, not a replacement tool. Just a cautionary tale. Um, Secondly, I thought it was interesting that the VA or the Veterans Administration has halted its implementation of its Oracle data center. There's some sort of problems there. The articles I've been reading have not been too detailed. They're not going into the wherefore and the whys in express detail as to why they've halted the process. However, what I'm telling the government contracting community is usually when they halt a rollout, they've either A, encountered a new problem, B, every solution creates a new problem. And they may seem like I said the same thing twice. I actually didn't. What I'm saying is in scenario A is there was something in the rollout that they did not factor in. When I'm saying in option B is there is a new problem that the solution created. And that problem has to be solved before the solution can be implemented. So I would keep an eye out for new RFPs from the Veterans Administration related to the Oracle rollout. That's just a little forecasting, a little forward thinking. Now, I'm a bit of a cyber snoop, and I pay attention to conversations that are being held in some of the smaller government contracting spaces. And there's this bad advice being given about winning contracts and farming all the work out to workforces in other countries. I want to caution you about doing that because there are countries that are on the list of countries we cannot do work with. And if you do not disclose in your proposal, and before I make that other point, there are proposals that require all work be performed by Americans. So you have to ensure that the work you're bidding on will even allow you to do that in the first place. So I would caution you about where you're farming your work out to, which countries they are. You should keep, and it's another form of compliance that you have to do because that list is ever changing and ever growing. There are countries that are considered terrorist states. There are countries that are just we have non-compete agreements with. It's just a mess. So you may want to bid a bid rate to the government of $20 an hour and only pay out $4. And you think that is wise, and that's because somebody who read a book told you can do that. It is better to develop a rate structure that is profitable, that will allow you to hire and pay a fair wage. And the middle classes in these other countries are coming up as well. So this whole bidding $4 an hour to these other countries is going to come to an end eventually. And then you have the whole time zone difference. So how are you going to manage deliverables with that as well? It's not as sweet as they try to present it. So, yeah, we want to keep in mind that government contracting is not as easy as people try to present it. And as an American company, I personally believe in Buy America. I believe in that whole slogan. I believe in hiring Americans when feasible. We do have expats, which are Americans that are living abroad. Hire them. And then I also don't believe in taking advantage of people and paying people $2, $3, $4 an hour. That is slave wages we're just going to call it what it is. But with that said, we're going to hop off of that. We just want to make sure that you are in compliance with the terms of the proposal that you're bidding on. Some of this information and some of this advice being given out is just not in compliance with CAS or FAR and is in direct conflict with the proposal terms you're bidding on. So be mindful. And I'm looking for, because I dropped my notebook just before I went live and I lost my page. Okay. So I'm missing the page with the note on the actual other item that I wanted to talk about this morning. Anywho, so in light of that, let me tell you about the Contractors Intensive that is coming up this October 4th, 5th, and 6th in Charlotte, North Carolina. For those of you on my Facebook, I have made, for those of you live, I've made a change to the intensive after having a discussion and anyway. So day one, it has always been about the business of being in business. So we're talking about credit development, leadership development. We're having a series of panel discussions, Q&A on all 3 days. You get to submit questions in advance. You get to submit questions during the intensive. So it's interactive. You're just not going to sit there and listen to us talk at you. It's interactive. So during the panel discussions, there's time to ask questions, and then there are built-in Q&A sessions as well, where we will answer the questions that are submitted, pre-submitted. And I'm doing it that way because we want to kind of maintain. I'm gonna just put it bluntly. Everybody don't know how to ask questions. And people don't know how to ask questions to maintain the propriety of their companies. It amazes me how people will get up there and tell all their company's business in a public forum where there are no NDAs. So this way we can kind of protect you. I know that's a lot that I'm taking on, but I just felt that it was fair because I've seen it time and time again. And I were actually at an event where an attorney stopped somebody from asking a question. And he stopped them because he was like, if you were my question, I'm pretending you're my client and saying you're giving too much information for everybody in this room that you don't know. And you have no NDAs in place. So it's interactive. It's an interactive event. Q&A sessions are in place, panel discussions are in place, in addition to the facilitations and the workshops. So it's October 4th, 5th, and 6th. I feel that it's a great place. You know, of course, I'm the host, but I do believe it would be a great start for those entering government contracting to build a right foundation. It is easier to do it right in the first place than it is to correct yourself. It costs more to correct the errors than it does to build it right in the first place. And it's a lot less hectic, and there's a lot less, it's just a lot less hectic to just build it right in the first place. So with that said, this Monday morning's edition of Contractor Chatter is going to be short. because I really just can't. Like I said, I dropped my notebook and I just don't want to sit here fumbling through pages while I look for the correct page. So join me tomorrow morning. Keep an eye out for the Sergeant at Arms on the House side, and the Senate side is going to release this series as well, where they're doing a look forward to the 118th session of Congress, what they're anticipating. Some of the contract work that's coming out, the schedule that's coming out. Um, these sessions are open to the public. I do not believe they're live streaming these sessions. But the information package, when they release it, will tell you what's live stream and what's in person. Anyone in the DMV area, that's the DC, Maryland, Virginia area, I would suggest you attend. Anyone who's not in that area, I believe the recordings are being made available after the fact. You would have to check the Sergeant at Arms website, but they are doing forecasting in a series of sessions so that you will know what to expect in the next government fiscal year as far as that Sergeant at Arms offices are concerned. And this is the time that you really should be developing a strategic plan for the next government fiscal year, which begins October 1st. So this is the time you should be pulling your data to start developing your rates, so that all you have to do is plug in your final Q4 actuals to do that final true up, and you can run with them. So with that said, I'm going to end today's live early. Join me tomorrow morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for a full out edition of LT&A's Contractors Chatter. I believe I've set the intention long enough. We're just going to go full-fledged, full on out. You can submit questions and topic for discussions to contact at ltaconsultinggroup.com. Put in the subject matter, chatter topic, so that I know exactly what you're emailing about. So I can bring it for a chatter topic, or I might bring it out as a masterclass. Who knows? And with that, have an amazing day. Don't forget, a stressed mind cannot create. So make sure you're taking time for yourself each day to move away from work and decompress. I'm Luciana Turner. I am the host of the LT&A Contractors Chatter. I look forward to seeing you on tomorrow.